You know what? I want to go fast. That's why I picked up this new Segway scooter. What's happening, Panda Nation? Peter Von Panda here. I just bought this. It's the Ninebot Kick Scooter Max. And I think it's by Segway. Down here in the corner. That's kind of the giveaway. Now this Kick Scooter Max is actually, I think, kind of one of the higher end scooters that they have. It's certainly not a cheap scooter at $800. It's definitely a premium scooter. You know, you can buy like a $35 scooter that you just kick. But this little bad boy has electric motors, I think regenerative braking. It has an 18 mile per hour top speed. So I'm pretty excited about checking it out. Plus, it's under 40 pounds. I think it's only like 38 pounds. So it should be very travelable. So I can take it with me on trips, see more sights, see more of the downtown areas, take in more of the world. Basically, what we do here on the channel, we discover more, explore deeper, so we can live better. And that's what I want to do. Live as well as I can, see as much as I can, learn as much as I can. So let's get this thing unboxed, set up, and take a look at it. As soon as I open it up here, it kind of looks like everything might be together. Handlebars look like they are disconnected, so we'll have to put that together. Looks like we get the instruction booklet and a tool here, some screws. We also get part of the charging cable. It looks kind of just like a regular electric cord. Then we get some sort of additional hose. Bros before hose. A bunch of styrofoam in here. I think I might put this on the side to just get it out. All right, got it out of the box, and my first impressions are it looks great. It's got kind of this gray matte finish on it. You know, this and this, it's all metal. Down here, that's a plastic covering. This seems really robust. It's kind of this rubberized deck. You've got these little raised diamonds there, so you should get nice grip on it. It does have this kickstand, which just folds down. You can see it just leans over a little bit. The tires here are pretty wide. I'd call those, I don't know, 9-10 inches maybe. They're pretty big, and it just has a nice finished look about it. I even like the orange or yellowish highlights on it. Here is this hinge, so obviously this will stand up. See, it's actually pretty interesting. It's all connected here, so it's got kind of this attachment arm, so nothing flops around. So to set this up after being folded to travel with it, you push it vertically, and then this big bar comes back and snaps in place. But what you also have here is this little locking clamp, which just kind of rotates, and that will just go in there to prevent this piece from accidentally falling down. Now, if you want to package this sucker up for storage, you just pull that out, just like this. Pull it out, and then flip down the lever, and then you are good to go to bend this back down for travel. The only thing that you have to do, I think, to assemble this little bad boy is put these handlebars together. And you can see we have the little screw holes right there. It does come with this tool as well as these screws. So I think that's all it takes to put it together. Okay, even though I didn't see set up in the manual, it's pretty straightforward. You just put it so that the little light here on the post is obviously forward. The handlebars will kind of lead the main bar here, and then these screws just go in here, and then you get basically an Allen wrench to tighten them down. Nice that there is thread locker on there, so they shouldn't back out, but just installing 6 screws I think is pretty much the end of it. Quick tour of it. Again, a nice robust wheel on the back here. The hub is completely covered up. I think maybe the motor might be actually in there. You can see how thick the deck is here. The whole battery is underneath there. I think it can be replaced if you need to. You've got side markers, reflective markers on there. This is a buckle. I'm not sure what it's for, but maybe for attachments if you wanted to put on a basket or something like that. On the front here, again, looks like, you know, a big sealed hub. We've got, you know, your brake cable right there. I mean, everything about this, including the reflector right there, says quality. It says this is a premium product. Nice big rubberized handles with some texture on them. I just love everything about this. It's just nicely done, even little plastic covering the headlight there. So definitely good design, and a lot of thought went into making this really robust and as compact as it possibly can be, and yet really comfortable. You can see how wide the deck is here. I wear size 10 shoes, but you know, this is probably a 7-inch wide deck, and I can get my feet up here nice and comfortably. So the first thing that you have to do is you have to download this Segway app to connect to your scooter, and I am going to have to register here. Now that I've got my account set up, I'm going to go back to the scooter, and this is a little LED panel. So I am now going to power this on, and looks like we're pretty good on battery state, but I'm also going to now try to pair this to the app. Okay, now once I'm set up here, I'm gonna hit search vehicle there. Ooh, looks like it found it. Scooter is beeping. Short press the power button to pair. Now it looks like it'll show me some riding safety videos. One of the interesting things about this is that it connects via Bluetooth. I'm kind of two minds about it. One, because I don't really want to have to rely on my phone, but it does allow you to do some pretty clever things. First of all, right here by the scooter, you'll see this little lock button. And if I pull that down, what it actually does is it locks the scooter. So now if I were to actually try to move the scooter, it actually says that it is locked and it gives me an alert here on the app, which is kind of cool. So there's some protection here. It doesn't mean that someone can't just pick up the scooter and roll with it. And I'm not sure how to do kind of a hard reset on it, but you know, it's definitely a nice feature. I definitely like that. I'd almost rather there be a little keypad or something on the scooter itself so that I could unlock it without my phone. It also makes me wonder if I get another scooter, you know, a couple for my family, and what happens to my phone, or, you know, does it have to be set up to someone else's phone? How does someone just kind of get on it and enjoy it without having to worry about the unlock? So you just tap it to unlock there. The other thing that I have not been able to figure out right now is you can see everything is in kilometers. It says kilometers on the scooter itself. I'd love it to be in miles per hour, you know, imperial, but I have not been able to figure out how to change that. Now on this little control panel here, it's pretty cool. This is the power button. You just do a long press to power it on and off. But if I do hit it, tap it once, what you get is this little headlight, which is really nice. I love the fact that that is built in there. It's just a nice little safety feature. It saves you another $30 from having to buy something. It also runs off the battery. You know, if you get an auxiliary headlight that would go on like a bicycle or something like that, it's just another thing you have to remove and recharge. So I do love the fact that it's built in, and then you just turn it off with a single press there. Now, if I double click this, what you'll see here is that we'll go from eco to drive to sport. And basically, those are the different levels of speed that you'll get. Now, in order to get out of eco the first time, you actually have to go through the safety training on the Segway app. So you do have to finish that. It's only a couple minutes. It just kind of shows you the basic features, tells you to wear protective gear while you're doing it. But this way, now you can go out of eco to drive to sport, which is definitely what I want to do. And you can see the Bluetooth icon right there. I also love that you get a little speedometer right there. So it's all pretty basic. But I love the fact that this is all integrated so nicely. You know, you've got your throttle here that you'll just push down, and then to brake, you will just pull back on the brake lever right there, just kind of like a regular bicycle. And then you'll turn by turning the handlebars, but also giving yourself some lean here. You know, you could definitely want to lean into it. So pretty cool. Now on the back here, what we also have is a little tail light, which I actually like. This is pretty clever. It's going to help keep you safe. You can see the plastic fender back here, but I definitely love having some sort of warning system for people that are creeping up behind you so they don't hit you. That's kind of definitely a cool little feature. And then if we go up here on the right side, what we have is this little flap here, and that's going to be the charging port. And what you can see is it just allows you to use the cable that it comes with to plug in there, which is actually really nice because it's actually one of the smallest charging cables I've ever seen, including for laptops. So there's no big charging brick transformer attached to it. It's just this cable. So definitely for a travelable weekend warrior vacation type of accompanying tool here, this is really, really convenient. So I'm going to get this plugged in, charged up, and then we will take it out and try it out. And I will say that it charges up pretty quickly here. It went from 55% to 100% in just about 2 hours. So my guess is maybe you need 4 hours from basically a flat battery to charge the sucker up. So that's not bad. You get to use it and recharge it and get to play with it pretty quickly again. So I discovered some other things about this LED panel here. I finally got it to Imperialist here, but a couple things. One, over here, this little knob right here is a bell. So if you twist it, boom, dude, you know, if you're rolling up on pedestrians or something like that, give them a little heads up. And it's loud, man. I wasn't sure what this thing is, and it works both ways. So this is a little bell housing right there. That's pretty cool. So got geared up here, safety third, and now we will take this Ninebot out and see what you can do. Now, basically, you do have to get this sucker up to 3 miles an hour to get it to engage. So you do need to give a little push. So it shows me that on the, ooh, there we go. Now I am actually on the fastest mode here, but I am definitely not going as fast as I possibly can. Just kind of want to get a feel for this little thing here. And I would say also depends if you're left or right footed. You know, you might be goofy footed and want to stand the other way. Hi there. She was jogging. She might be going faster than me. So, holy smokes. All right, so it says I'm going like 12 and 13 miles an hour already, which is pretty quick. Go ahead and see if I can slow down here. I've got the regen on medium. Ooh. All right, I'm doing 15 miles an hour with a slight uphill incline, which is pretty impressive, given that I think this thing's top speed is 18 miles an hour. And like I said, when I was checking out that cycle board, I really liked it. But with, you know, 27 mile per hour top speed, it just gets a little gnarly. I mean, it's definitely cool for crossing a lot of terrain as quickly as humanly possible, but man, I mean, that's pretty freaking fast. And I would say like 10, 11, 12 miles an hour is probably just fast enough. This is pretty sweet though. I love it. It's gonna be a great companion with me on my next trip. The throttle's nice and responsive. Man, put it down, you definitely can control it. Back it off a little bit, but I'm in the drive mode as opposed to that sport mode. So I like the speedometer on it. It's like it gets up to 14 miles an hour, which is pretty cool. It's pretty quick. And really just quick enough, man. Honestly, any faster than this could get a little hairy. But you just back it off by letting off the throttle there just a smidge. Man, and this is nice and leisurely. Pretty cool. See how that's turning around. Nice brake. Brake works well. And even though I came down to almost a dead stop, and we're going back uphill here, see, it just kind of winds up. In this D mode, it's just nice and relaxed. You don't have to worry about it jerking you off the back of this thing. And then once it gets up to speed, it's nice and convenient. And like I said, even though we're cruising uphill just a little bit here, back up to that 14 miles per hour. Sweet. And then again, just to get going, just give it a little kickstart, get up to 3 miles an hour, and hit the button, and boom. Just kind of lean into the turns. I'm not even really thinking about turning the handlebars. It's more of a leaning action. Sweet. Also, double clicking by going through the modes here is actually pretty clever because I think besides sport being the top speed, but it's also the fastest accelerating. So when I was actually trying it on Eco, it just ramps up really slowly and then it maxes out, I don't know, around 10, 11 or 12 miles an hour, which is actually pretty good. And I think for the average rider, the Eco mode is probably going to be the best. And I think there's some pretty good regen because when you let off the throttle, it definitely slows down a little bit. If you tap it again and go to drive, this is probably where I personally would use it the most because it has a little bit more pickup and it has a little bit higher top speed. I think, you know, for me, the sport is almost so quick. It's almost a little shocking sometimes. You know, when you activate electric power, there's really kind of a sudden surge. And if you're not expecting it, it almost might be too much. You kind of get on the throttle here and it just kind of pulls away pretty quickly. So I think really the Eco or the drive mode just kind of nicely eases into the power for most people. So I think those two modes are probably going to be your primary modes. But overall, man, this thing is sweet and it's just about right. I think across the board, it's the right size to be able to throw into the back of your SUV and take with you at 38 pounds. You can lift it up. You can bring it into an elevator, potentially your work. You know, it might be something you commute on in the city or something like that. But for me, you know, it's something that I want to be able to take on vacations here, just fold it up, take it with me, have some power. 40-mile range means that I can go and see some sights, hit the downtown areas, go to the beach, you know, cruise around, you know, throw down this kickstand right here and lock it on the app and then be able to get home without a problem. Turn on the light here so that I can stay nice and safe. It's just a clever little scooter, and I think all around it's just got all the features that I need. If you want to pick up this little bad boy, it's under $800. It's on the lower end of the electric scooter range in price, and it's on the higher end in features. So I think overall just actually a really good value. Never thought I'd say that about like a Segway branded product, but pretty cool. Hey, if you want to pick it up, I'll put a link to it in the description below. Peter Von Panda, out.